You know, when you do wrong, you know whose fault it is? It ain't your mama's. It ain't your daddy's. It's not your husband. If you just believe this, if you just believe what I'm saying this morning and do it, everybody in here could walk out that door this morning with not one sin on your record. Not one sin. Wouldn't that be something? Number 3, draw nigh to God with your trouble, and He will help you. Are you having trouble this morning? Draw nigh to God. I wonder why that we have a tendency to pull away from God when we're having trouble. Man, don't come to altar one day. Eyes out and he prayed, and then the next Sunday he was back and he prayed. He said, she still ain't come back. He said, I can't make it. He said, I love her with all my heart. She's off out there running around. He said, I don't know what I'm going to do. I said, you better come to the Lord, buddy. Daughters, 3 sons, whatever it was, and the other way around, and Job lost. I don't let Lord, that ain't no time to go out and go wild, brother. Why would you want to run from the Lord? Have you got something that every time you start doing real good, you mess up, and then you do real good for a while, and then you mess up, and you ask God to forgive you, and you do real good for a while, and then you mess up? There are people who would say, well, you probably ain't saved because you do something they don't do, but then they do something you don't do, so you don't pay no attention to idiots like that. Sometimes saved people struggle with a weakness. Paul had one. I don't know what it was, some temptation he had. If you're not careful, when you get that weakness down, especially you young people, you'll fall and you'll say, God, forgive me, and you say, I'm never going to do that again. And then it's not a month later till you do the very same thing. And you say, God, I promise this time, that's it. I promise God. Now, the first thing you ought to do is not make dumb promises like that. You just ask God to forgive you and turn from it in your heart. Now, that ought to be our attitude. Our attitude has to be, I'm never going to sin again. It has to be that way. But in your flesh, you ain't strong enough to do that. And if you've got a problem this morning, whether it's some kind of addiction, drugs, alcohol, immorality, some kind of sexual sin, anything, and that thing keeps popping up, popping up. Is made perfect in my weakness. You just keep right on going. I know it's quiet in here, and this ain't what I was planning on preaching, but the Lord's doing some plowing in somebody's heart this morning. Can. Draw nigh to God in your weakness, and He'll strengthen you. Pray about it. Pray about it. He'll. Please forgive me. I want to draw nigh to you. The Bible said if you'll do that, He'll draw nigh to you. I saw an old guy walking up the street one day. Tell you this morning, friend, the way to get right with God is draw nigh to Him. Draw nigh to Him. I want you to bow your head and close your eyes.